I deleted my email app last Thursday, not because I'm on a retreat or trying to impress anyone. It was because I realized something sitting in my car. My phone wasn't the problem, I was. Or more specifically, my standards were.
Welcome to the Clarence Stowers Leadership Podcast, a podcast about becoming 1% better every day. And now your host, yours truly, Clarence Stowers.
I made 47 decisions before 9 a.m. yesterday. That's right, I counted. What to wear, which route to take, what to eat, when to respond to that text, whether to check email now or later, whether to say yes to that meeting request. Small stuff, right? Except by 9:15, I was already tired. Not physically tired, mentally done. You know what I mean. And I hadn't actually done anything yet. That's decision fatigue. And it's stealing your best hours before you even notice. Here's what's happening and how to stop it. Welcome back to the Clarence Stowers Leadership Podcast. And I am your host, Clarence Edward Stowers Jr. Today, we're talking about invisible weight that's crushing your focus, killing your energy, and making you feel tired even when you slept 8 hours. It's not your workload. It's the decisions underneath the workload. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's what I've noticed. The most exhausted people I know are not working longer hours than anyone else. They're making more decisions. Every text gets a debate. Every email gets a mental negotiation. Every request gets full internal conference. And by the time they sit down to do the actual work they were hired to do, the decision-making muscle is already shredded. That's why you feel tired by 10 a.m. You've been working. You've just been working on things that don't count. So let's break this down. Because if decisions are draining you, you need to understand why and what you can do about it today. Here's my first insight. Your brain has a daily decision budget. And when you understand that, you'll understand why willpower fades and what actually controls your energy. Check this out. Every day, your brain wakes up with a limited budget of decision-making energy. Every choice you make, big or small, spins from that budget. Think of it as a battery. You start at 100%, but here's the problem. Your brain doesn't care if the decision is life-changing or meaningless. Choosing what shirt to wear costs the same mental energy as choosing which project to prioritize. 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. And by the time you get to the decision that actually matter, the strategy call, the hard conversation, the creative work, you're running on fumes. This is why Steve Jobs wore the same thing every day. I'm getting to that point. Not because he was quirky, because he understood decision economics. He refused to spend decision energy on things that did not move his mission forward. Let me slow down, back up, come to the front of the class. He refused to spend decision energy on things that did not move his mission forward. So every morning he woke up with more budget left for the work that mattered. That's not obsessive. That's strategic. So here's the test. Think about the last time you made a bad decision. I'm willing to bet it was not the first thing in the morning when you were fresh. It was probably later in the day, after you had already burned through your budget over 100 small yeses, maybes, and let me think about it moments. You were not weak, you were depleted. Okay, so if your brain has a budget, the next question is obvious. Where is all your budget going? Because I promise you, it's not where you think. Which leads me to my second insight, the hidden decisions that are bleeding you dry. That's right. Here's my promise. You'll be able to identify the invisible choices stealing your energy and learn how to stop the leak. Most of your decision fatigue is not coming from big choices. It's coming from the decisions you keep making over and over again. What time should I work out? Should I answer this text now or later? Do I need to prep for this meeting or can I just wing it? Should I order lunch or make something? These are not one-time decisions. These are reoccurring negotiations, and every time they come up, you pay the cost again. Now, here's the question that flips it, the question that changes everything. And here's what changed everything for me. I stopped asking, what do I want to do? And started asking, what decision can I make once that eliminates 100 future decisions? Because the goal is not to make better decisions. The goal is to make fewer decisions. I used to wake up every day and decide when I was going to work out. Some days it was in the morning. Some days it was after work. Some days I skipped it because I was too tired to decide. And I thought the problem was discipline. It was not. The problem was that I was spending decision energy every single day negotiating with myself about something that should have been automatic. So I made the decision once, 7:30 a.m., Monday through Friday, no debate. And suddenly working out got easier, not because I got more disciplined, because I stopped deciding. Look at your calendar right now. I'll wait. How many reoccurring decisions are on there? Daily stand up at the same time, team check-ins, one-on-ones. Those are not draining you. Now look at the blank spaces. That's where the bleeding happens, the unstructured time where you are constantly deciding what to do next. This is where your budget is disappearing. So, now that we know the problem, your brain has a budget, you're spending it on reoccurring decisions that should have been automated. The question is, what do you actually do about it? Which brings me to my final insight, the one decision that buys back your best hours. Now, if you stay with me for just a few more minutes, you'll walk away with a single move that will prove to you that focus is a choice and not a gift. Here's what I want you to do this week. Pick one decision you make every single day, just one, and make it once. Not I'll try to be more consistent. No, make the decision, lock it in, and remove the negotiation. Maybe it is when you check email. Maybe it is when you do your most important work. Maybe it is what you eat for breakfast. Maybe it is when you go to bed. Pick one that costs you the most energy and turn it into a rule, not a goal. A rule, I will check email at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. only. Done. No debate. No, maybe I should check it now. The decision has been made. Here's what happens the first day. It'll feel weird. Your brain is going to try to negotiate. But what if something urgent come in? Ignore it. You made the decision. The second day, it will feel a little easier. By day 5, you will not even think about it. And here's the best part. You will notice that you have more energy for everything else because you stopped bleeding decision energy on something that did not deserve it. And once you prove to yourself that this works, you'll start looking for other decisions to automate? What else can I decide once? What else can I remove from the daily negotiation? And before you know it, you would have bought back hours of mental energy every single week, not because you worked less, but because you decided less. This is not about control. This is about stewardship. God gave you a brain with limited capacity. The question is, are you spending that capacity on things that matter, or are you bleeding it out on things that do not? Because the people who do great work, they're not smarter than you. They're just more intentional about where their decision energy goes. So let me bring this home. You're not tired because you worked hard. You're tired because you decided too much. And the truth is, most of those decisions did not deserve your energy in the first place. But here is the good news. You can get it back. You can reclaim your best hours. And that one decision will prove to you that focus is not a gift some people have and some do not. It's a choice, and you get to make it. I want to know, what decision are you automating this week? What's the one thing you are deciding once so you never have to negotiate with yourself again? Drop it in the comments, wherever you're listening, or send me a note on all social media platforms. I read everything and genuinely want to know what lands for you. If this resonated, hit subscribe. I'm dropping a new episode every week around these kinds of shifts, the invisible decisions that change how you work and change how you lead. Next week, we're going to talk about something most people miss, the difference between being busy and being productive, because you can fill your calendar and still accomplish nothing. We're going to fix that, and I'll see you the next time.
You've been listening to the Clarence Stowers Leadership Podcast. Join us next time for more insights on becoming 1% better each day and leveling up in all areas of life.